Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome back. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. We almost finished, but we still have like a lot of information for you. Yeah, okay. Well, so welcome to session 4 of this bootcamp for Opportunity Funds Scholarship. And today we have a very special topic and guest. And well, the topic for today is how to apply to opportunity funds. So probably today you are going to have even more questions, but that's okay. Yes. And well, before I introduce to our very special speaker, well, we are going to do another activity. Yes, because well, you are going to go to this website. Yes. Okay. And I'm just going to change my screen. Yes, just wait, don't worry. You're gonna see the code again. Just let's see. Okay. Okay. Mm, Okay. Well, you are going to go to menti.com. You are going to enter that code. I'm also going to send you the link to the chat. And what you have to do is click on the state where you are from. Okay, because that's something that we would like to know. Like, where are you from? Yeah. Okay, nice. So I can see some people from Baja California, Durango, Jalisco, yay. Okay, Chihuahua, good. Veracruz, Chiapas, Chihuahua too. Okay, Morelos, nice. Quintana Roo, Yucatan, Chiapas, more people in Durango. Mexico City also, I think. Good. Sonora. Nice. Very good. Okay. More people in Jalisco. Excellent. Okay. Good. So I can see that there are a lot of people from Mexico City. Is that correct? Yes. Good. Excellent. Okay. Also, some people from Chihuahua. Great. Okay. Very good. That's interesting. So we have many people from all over the country. That's great. Yes. Very good. Okay. Well, so now we are going to continue. Yes. So I would like to introduce our very special speaker today. Yeah. And let's see. Let's see. Just give me 1 second before we continue. Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, so well, I'd like to introduce to our very special speaker today. Yes. So his name is Juan Manuel. You've already met him in previous sessions. And well, Juan Manuel has been in the field of education for the last 16 years. He holds a BA in teaching English as a second language from Universidad Autónoma de Chiapas and a master's degree in applied linguistics from Ohio University. He has been a teacher for children, teenagers, and young adults in Mexico and the USA. And for the last 9 years, he has served as the Education USA advisor in Chiapas and Tabasco, helping to close the gap between educational opportunities and young students and professionals in the south of Mexico. And also very important to mention that he is the coordinator of the Opportunity Funds Scholarship here in Mexico. So thank you so much, Juanma, for being here.
Thank you so much, Christy and Ana Lucia, for organizing this whole bootcamp during this week. Really appreciate all the work that you do and everything that happens behind the scenes with all these projects. Well, it is my pleasure to be here with you. And as you heard, I am one of the coordinators for the program. There's another coordinator that you met this week, Mariana. Remember that she gave the session on essays. She is the order coordinator, and the both of us, we um, guide and lead and advise do it for this program. But there's a lot of people involved in this program. There's 14, 15 of us that are in the that make opportunity funds happen in our country. So that being said, I want to say there's a couple of things that I want to say that I'm super happy to see familiar names. I know that for some of you, this might not be the first time that you are applying for opportunity funds. I'm super happy to see you here and that you're learning and that you are doing this process. And if that is your case, feel free to reach out to us and say that this is your second time or something like that. And then and I think it's a very good opportunity for you to learn also what things in the past have you have improved and all that, right? So I'm happy for that. And then the other thing I want to say is that I think you should feel also happy to be part of this bootcamp because there are not many scholarship programs that do this for you, that would do a series of sessions on how you can prepare yourself for an application for their own programs, right? So that is very new. And specifically, what we're going to do today, which is give you a walkthrough the application. So this is what we're going to do today. And let me share my screen. I'm going to try to get this out of the way. Let me see if I can do this. All right. Let me move this over here so I don't see myself. All right. So I just wanted to show you, just in case you don't know how to find the call for participation, maybe some of you got here through our social media or from somewhere else. What I do is that I always do just Opportunity Funds Mexico. It is important that you do Mexico because Opportunity Funds is not a program that is only for Mexico. We have Opportunity Funds Nicaragua, Opportunity Funds Uruguay, Opportunity Funds Argentina, Opportunity Funds Brazil. So you'll find that this is a program that we have in many parts of the world. And every country, although it is the same program, we do things a little bit different. So the way we do it in Mexico is that we have our call for participation. You're going to find it in WordPress. As you can see, this is a program that, although we provide financial support, we don't have a lot of money because we're using WordPress to show you where we put our call for participation. And as you may know already, we are using free resources. We use free resources like WordPress. We use free resources as Google Forms and stuff like that because we're trying to use the most of our resources to help students. So I hope that you are very familiar with this page by now. That you have read this thoroughly and that you know where things are. And there's resources, there's different things, letters of recommendations. Resources for letters of recommendations for all that, important dates and all that. Where I want you to focus today with me is here, the call for participation. the form, right? So if we click to it, this is going to take us to the form. Now, let me tell you that this is a long form. It will ask you a lot of questions. So you may not finish this in one sitting. uh Sometimes we are not completely sure if it's safe for everybody, so we don't want to say that it will save your changes. For most computers and for most users, it does. It saves your changes, but if not, we don't want you to say, oh, they told me that it saves it, but it doesn't. So what we suggest is that you can go ahead here and download the PDF file, which is going to give you all the questions, right? You're going to see beforehand all the questions that we're going to ask you. You can get ready for that. You can, if you want, you can print this or you can make notes in this. So when you're ready, you have all the information, and then you can go and just fill out the information here. So you can do that here, right? In case you're saying, oh, maybe I don't know what are the rest of the questions, so you can see that on the PDF file. So what we're going to do today is that I actually want to do a filling out of the application with you today. And as questions come out, you guys can put those in the chat box, and we're going to be doing that together. Or please raise your hand, and please, Ana Lucia and Cristina, if I don't see any a hand that is has been raised, please let me know so we can address a question. But yeah, so please, we've done a lot of there's a lot of words here, but the reason why is because we want you to understand what is going to happen. Who is this opportunity for? And the reason is that, to be honest, this scholarship may not be for you. And I just want to be honest with that. This scholarship may not, or you may not be ready right now for this scholarship. Every year we get a lot of applications, and some of those are people that are applying, but they didn't really understood what this program or what kind of person we were looking for. And they don't continue into the next stages because they might be by the way, I have three dogs that they love to be in the sessions. That's my dog Maya. So you will hear them in the background, and they're always in the sessions. But anyway, so uh as I was saying, that if you understand what is the purpose of this program and who are we looking for, that might help you a lot. So these are the reasons why we're trying to do these bootcamps like this, or why we're filling out this application together. Anyways, so here you'll find what kind of documents we'll find and all that. So I'm just walking through this because we've already talked about this in the other session, so I'm not going to be going into detail, but I want to fill this out with you, right? So, oh, let me see. For example, it saved the things that I did before, right? So in my case, since I did this once as a tryout, it saved my answers, right? So it might save yours too. So in this case, by filling this form, you agree the privacy policy. That means that you will give us sensitive information. And in the past, we have had some people that had some concerns about the information. Here is our privacy policy available for you. This information is going to be used for our selecting purposes, and it will be safe. Now, how do you find out? I said that I sent it through someone, well, I received this email, but please let us know, how do you find out? A friend, your school, someone else. I'm gonna say that it was through my email. And for, are you planning to participate in the bootcamp? In this case, I am in the bootcamp, so I'm just gonna say I have already signed up, and I will sign up, right? Those are the two. There's no option for I already participated. So for all of you guys, this is going to be your answer, right? And now for the next things you're going is this a regular, what is your name and all that, right? So what is your name? Molina. My name is Juna, right? Juan. This is my email. Alternative email. Remember that all that has a red sign, it means that it is required. If it doesn't have that, then the asterisk, then it means that it is not a required question. Alternative email, it turns out many times. Please make sure that you write your email correctly. If not, then there's no way that we're going to be able to contact you. So make sure that you have that. So in that case, I highly suggest that you will do a alternative email here, so we know um, we have different ways of contacting you. We will require that you put your corp. If you don't know how to get it or how to do it, here's the link. So there's no um, you have to do it, right? Then your date of birth, place of birth, your gender. You can tell us gender, or if you prefer not to say, that's also a good question. Marital status, you can also give us, or yeah. What's your permanent address? Um, there's a drop-down menu. Your mobile phone, alternative mobile phone, also where we can reach you. Citizenship, there's a drop-down menu for different options. And yeah, right. So we got to the question of the visa. Don't worry if you don't have a visa, it is not a requirement. We just want to know. This is just information that we would like to know about you. Um, so if you say yes, it's going to take you to next questions. If you say no, then it's going to skip the questions about the visa. In this case, I said yes, just to show you what other questions will come up. It's going to ask you for the type of visa. If you don't know, here's the list of different types of visas that there are. And in this case, these are the ones. If it's not listed here, then it's just put other. And if the visa was granted or not, and if it's valid or yes, but it expired, or no, it was not granted. Luis Pimentel, you have a question on this.
Yeah, what if I got like two visas at some point, like the tourist and the student visa?
Um, Good question. I don't think that there is something there for you to are both valid at this point?
Oh, no, just one.
Okay. What I would say is do the I'm guessing that is your tourist visa. Do that one, and
Yeah,
if there are other places where you can explain a little bit, we will see. I mean, in your CV and in other sections, we will see that you were a student in the U.S. And I mean, we're going to assume that you did that through a visa, right?
yeah. Thank you.
Now the next one has to do with your educational goals, and this one I would say that take your time to do this. So question is, what are you currently studying and in which institution? And make sure that to read the whole thing, because it says if you're not currently studying, what are you doing with your time, right? So in my case, I'm writing. I'm not a student. I haven't been a student for a while, so I say I work full time as an advisor. Or if I'm studying, then I would say, well, I'm in my fourth semester of my bachelor's degree. I'm studying high school, and this is the school that I'm at, right? So that's what we're hoping to read there. For your GPA, see that it says do not make the conversion to the 4.0 scale. If you do not receive your promedio, your grades, and that make it in the one that is your own. If you are on a system that has a different way of putting this, just make sure that you say, for example, if you're in the French system, then you would do, I don't know, 16 out of 20 or something. Must be a number. All right. Yeah, maybe you can just write that, and remember that you are going to send us your scores, right? Your transcripts. So we're going to make sense of that. So whatever your transcript says, that you should put, right? Eileen?
Yeah, I have a question. For the GPA, since when do we have to put it? I know it's accumulative, or is it just of the last semester, or for example, ninth to fourth semester I'm in?
Right. So if you're in high school, I would say if you're doing that right now, you should have the one from last semester, right? So do all the way till your, what was it, fourth semester, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do the whole, the four, the cumulative of the four um, the 4th years. Yeah.
Okay, so I just put that one for the fourth semester, and then
Yeah,
I
for
have
the
to.
for the
Okay,
whole period of the high school.
okay, and I have to add also in a document, I think, a transcript of all my grades, right? Those are from 9th to 11th. That.
Those should be, yeah, from the last from all your high school, and if you can add your last year of middle school, that'll be great. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I have I'm sorry, last question.
Mhm.
I have the option for it to be since ninth grade or since 10th grade. So I don't know if it's
I would say ninth. If you can get ninth, I would say ninth.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Hmm. And just as a reminder for all the things, all the process for opportunity funds, this might look like a very thorough or a very detailed process, a questions that we're asking. What we're trying to do is we're trying to mirror the experience of the application process for a U.S. university. So that's what we're going to be, and not only any kind of university, but remember that the kind of student that we're looking for is a student that will be able to get fully funded offers from U.S. colleges that will have a chance to do that. So one of the questions that we ask ourselves is when we see a profile, we have to see the potential of that student and say, will this student be a competitive student to receive fully funded? We're not looking just for acceptances. All of opportunity funds get acceptances. Not all of the opportunity funds get fully funded offers. We're looking for fully funded offers, not just acceptances. Ana Lucia, were you going to say something?
Yes, I'm going to be reading the questions in the chat that have to do with the topic. Okay. We have one related to visa. It says, what should I choose if I have applied for the visa but have not had the interview yet? So I don't know if I will get it or not.
That's an interesting question. We don't have
Hmm.
that. We don't have
Option.
that
Hmm.
option there. What I would say is, go ahead and do that you have applied and that is valid in the saying that you're gonna get it, right? So I'll say then let's do that, right?
Yeah.
That will be better. That's a good
And
question.
what happened if I finish my career but I don't work now?
Explain what you're doing.
Hmm.
That's what I would
Okay.
say. Just explain what you're doing with your time. That's what it says. It's like, tell us what you're doing with your time.
Okay. And I think
Mhm.
Maricruz is the one raising her hand. She's asking about the TOEFL IBT. Should she apply even though she had 88?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
I will reply to that when we get to that part.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
going to tell her that. I'm not sure if you have
Yeah.
another question, Maricruz, related to what we're talking right now.
Yeah, because we are two Marie Cruz.
Okay. Ah, I'm sorry,
Um,
Maricruz Gonzalez.
yeah. I'm finishing my master degree, so I want to know if I uh should submit my um promedio from my master's, or because I doesn't have like the title too. So I don't know if I can put my certificate from my bachelor or for master. I already
Right.
finished
So,
my yeah, yeah, what do you want to say?
oh no, 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 no. So what I'm gonna say is like I would say do what is most recent. So even if you have not finished your master's degree, you might be already 1 year in, for
Yeah,
example,
I
right?
just waiting to present my test, but I
Right.
finished
Okay,
the
but you
certificate,
already
everything.
it doesn't right. That's good. It doesn't matter because you already finished your classes and you already have a GPA. So if you don't have your diploma yet, but you have already finished your classes, do that score.
Okay, thank you so much.
If you haven't graduated, for example, and this is really it goes to that, when are you when are you going to graduate, right? So in my case, for my master's degree, I graduated in May 2014, actually. So I'm going to put that, right? If I haven't graduated yet, when am I going to graduate? A lot of you might be still in school, finishing high school, finishing your bachelor's degree, finishing your master's degree, like Maricruz was saying. So when are you expected to graduate? Is it going to be July 2025, right? So when? We want to know, when are you graduating? Believe it or not, remember, this is a program that is going to walk you through all 2025 so you can start your program on 2026, fall 2026. So if you're graduating fall 2027, this is not the program for you this year. Wait for next year, right? So you need to have that clear in mind. What is the timeline? So we're going to work all 2025 and you're going to start your program fall 2026. And see, if you are a student that right now is in school, and especially undergrads, don't worry about this. We don't need título universitario, but if you are a college student or a master's degree student, we need you to know that we expect that you will have your título, your diploma, by March 2025. If you think that you're not going to get your diploma by 2026, I mean, March 2026, then you were not going to be able to enroll in classes. Universities will need to see your diploma, so have that in mind. So your options here are: I already have my diploma, I'm in high school, and this is not relevant for me. Yes, I'm working on my diploma, and I plan to have it by 2026, or I will not have my diploma by March 2026, which in that case, we would say this is not the time for you yet. Next year might be for you, right? So in my case, I'm going to say I already have my diploma. Alma Lilia.
Thank you. I'm currently studying a PhD, and I want to do a PhD in the United States. So, in this question, where are you scheduled to graduate from your current degree program, can I put the date of my master's degree, or I have to put the date the of this?
Yep. Yeah, PhD. Right. The PhD. Because we're not expecting that you will drop out of your program to go to the US. You're gonna finish. And maybe we'll want to talk a little bit more after this in another session. But here, I think the challenge for you will be that we're going to question you really hard on why do you want another PhD, and why you're using your time for a PhD here, and you want to go another PhD. So in your case, you're gonna have to make a really good case on your essay specifically to explain what is happening with your academic objectives, that there's a need for another PhD. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
And sorry, I thank you. And another question about this also. I I have a lot of time to have the grade for my program, but I can get it if I finish my thesis even right now. But that's a problem for this question because I don't have exactly the month and the year that I would finish this or have the degree. Also, um, I mean, it is enough
Alma,
to have the, yeah,
where are you located?
Guanajuato,
In Guanajuato. Okay.
Pelaya,
So it's
Guanajuato.
probably Christy then, your or Mabel, because I think that it's a very specific situation, the one that you have, and I would really like to have like a more one-on-one maybe with you to because I think not a lot of people are in your situation, but I really would like to have a one-on-one with you to explain and see your specific situation. Is that right with you? Right?
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
That's
Yeah.
sorry, that's Mabel. So I
That will
will
be
write
Mabel.
her email in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Because I think that it might be very useful for you to have more advising on this because of your specific situation
Thank
with
you
the
so
PhD
much.
already. Rebecca, what's your question?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to Alma's question. It's about the previous question in the forms about the date. I'm in my first semester currently, and I don't have a specific date for when I'm supposed to graduate. Should I put like an approximate, or should I ask
Yeah.
at my school?
Yeah. First semester in your master's?
No, no, no. I'm in my fourth semester in high school.
Oh, fourth semester in high school. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Get it. Yeah. No. 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 Yeah. It doesn't have to be a specific date. You can just put July 2025, and that's it.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. We don't need exact. We just want you to understand when you need to be graduating for you to start. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good questions. So the next one is write the total amount of tuition or fees paid for your school. Remember that we're asking you about school in 2024, right? If you are currently and you're in an institution, write zero if you don't pay any money, or if you didn't attend or didn't pay anything, right? So here, this is the first question where we're asking you to write something about money. Make sure that you write this in pesos. We're not asking about anything in dollars. Don't write anything in dollars. And all of the most of the things that we're asking you is that you will do things annually. The calculations are going to be for year, right? So don't what expenses and incomes and all that for the year. If you did not pay tuition, so if I write zero here, if you did not pay tuition and the school fees, please write the reason. Tell us the reason. Do you have full scholarship? Is it free tuition? Or you didn't study? In my case, I'm writing I did not study, but you can say I receive a full scholarship, my institution offers free tuition, other, or I pay tuition or fees, because the question here is if you the total amount that you receive. So in my case, I'm gonna do I did not study January to December. Question, Eileen.
I have a question. I don't have the like exact amount of it, but can I have an approximate, not even too
Yes.
far or even too like not
Right.
bigger and not like mid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for we would like you to be as exact as you can, but we understand that a lot of these are going to be approximates, right? We just want to have a clear idea of the your financial situation or that thing that yeah, in general. Next question. Some of you might be applying or are familiar with the Fulbright Garcia Robles scholarship. Please let us know if you're applying. There's also a question in the forms for the Fulbright Garcia Robles. If you're applying to opportunity funds, it like I said, it doesn't harm your application. It doesn't mean that if you're applying there, you're not going to get it here or the other way around. It's just we want to be aware of how many people that are applying to both programs. We have to have them in the radar. Are you currently applying for another program? This is not important. If you're considering other countries besides the US and Mexico, we would like to know, right? Yeah, that's it. Then let us know what level of education that you're intending to study in the United States. We only have three options, your bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate. If you're looking to study something else, again, this is not your program. If you already have a bachelor's degree, and you want to do a bachelor's degree, or if you're studying a bachelor's degree right now and you want to continue that bachelor's degree in the US, this is not the program for you either, right? So just in my case, I'm going to put master's degree. What desired field of study do you want? If you don't find yours, try to find just the closest. You will have an opportunity to write exactly what you want. So in what specific study area you want to do. Let's say that I'm going to do international education. Okay. Next one, here's where we talk about the level of English. Remember that you do not have a English score test of any kind to apply for this scholarship. We give you this reference so you know what level we're looking for, yeah. But you don't have to have a TOEFL IBT score or an IELTS or a PTE or an FCE or whatever other thing. You don't have to have it, but we give you this number just as a reference. So with the question that was earlier about the 88 points, you already know, you have an idea of how many points you have. But many of us that have never taken, we're just going to make the most educated guess that we can. For example, we tried to tell you what a 90 points means. I can understand the main ideas of complex text, including technical discussions in my field of specialization. I can interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity. I can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects. That is what a 90 points in the TOEFL IBT means. So you could read this and say, I think I can do that. Maybe if you take a test, you might be a 70 or you might be 100, but we don't know. You don't know. So if you already know and you have an 80A, I would say go ahead and apply, right? Go ahead and apply. Because it doesn't matter if you have a test or not, everybody will do the test. If you say, well, I already have 100 in the IBT, that is really great. You will do a test anyway. Right? So, and we will, you don't have an advantage if you have an exam because everybody will have to do another test, right? So here, the only thing that we're asking is, do you think you have that? Right. And if you don't, see, there's no option. If you don't, there's no option because if you say no, we would say, well, this is not the program for you, right? So we will say, probably you need to go back and improve your English language and do it. But if you want to try it anyway, go ahead and try it, right? I would say that. How many years have you studied English? I'm going to say that I've been studying English more than 10 years. Where have you studied English? Czechoslovakia Pride or regular school? I did language school. I have done it on my own. Have you taken standardized tests? Which tests have you taken? I've taken the TOEFL or the SAT, or maybe I have taken the GRE, or I have taken none of them. No, I have not. In my case, I have taken the TOEFL IBT, and that's the only one that I've taken. If there's others that you want to do, right? For example, you might have taken the Duolingo English test, for example, right? Or any other. If you had taken tests from the options above, report which test, right? So I'm gonna say Duolingo English test, and I got 110. This program is highly demanding. Do you consider you will be able to invest 15 to 20 hours per week to complete successfully the scholarship program? If you're not able to commit to this load, you are not suitable for this program and you may not be selected. Now, we kind of addressed this question yesterday when people say, well, am I going to have to quit my job? Am I going to do like get out of school or anything? No, this is just an estimate. And this is something that might not be every week. Some of those weeks, you might only use 5 hours for opportunity. But specifically, in September and October, you might be using 30 hours or something like that to this process because all your applications are due November and December, for example. So this is just an estimate, but we want you to know that it's a highly intensive program, not because we make it intensive, but because applying to U.S. universities, it takes time, but also applying to U.S. universities with the idea in mind that you want to get fully funded offers, that makes it a lot more. Just so you to have an idea, the challenge that this program is going to be for you, it's like I said in the session yesterday, it's easier to win the lottery according to the odds. It's easier to win the lottery than to get a fully funded scholarship to Princeton, Harvard, or University of Pennsylvania, for example, for undergrads, which is where we have been able to place students in the past. So we have experience, we've done it. We just want you to know that it's going to be highly demanding for you, for your parents, for you're going to be doing this on your Maybe you're working on your thesis, you're doing a publication while you're going to be doing this. You're going to have a job. Maybe you have two jobs. So it's just, yeah, I don't want to scare you. And one of the things that we provide is we provide with psychological, emotional acompañamiento, because we know that this is your program that has, so we have a professional that meets with the grantees bi-monthly to help them to go through that. But we just want you to be aware of that. Ana Lucia, you had questions that you want to share?
Yes, they were asking in the chat if a college board is considered standardized test.
Right. So College Board, the SAT is administered by College Board. So if you took the SAT, yeah, you should put it. Mhm. Now, this question is, please describe a typical day in a regular week of your life. I know that many of us don't really have typical weeks, that it depends, but we want to have an idea of what your life is, right? So um, it's just we want to understand you a little bit more. Is it that you go to school and then you go to if you're a high school student, then you go to football practice and then you have swimming lessons, or that you are in the debate club? What things are you doing? If you have a job, if you are doing research, and then you walk your dog, and then you spend time with your family every day or at least once a week, or like you would just want to have an idea of what is a sort of like a regular week in your life, right? So don't feel it's not boring for us to read. We actually like reading this section specifically because it gives you an idea, a little bit of who you are. The next one is, have you participated or currently participating in extracurricular activities? Do be as detailed as you can with the kind of activities, with the times, um, for how long have you did it, where, when. For example, you would say, 2023, I was a leader in the debate team, right? And you can be as then March 2024, I don't know. And then you can just write and tell us the information there. Right, Isabella.
Yes, I'm wondering if we have to put like the same activities we are writing in our CV, or can we put different activities?
I would say do the same ones. Like it's okay if they repeat themselves. Yeah. Yeah, do the same way. If you want to put the things that you put in your CV here, that's good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm. Now we also want to understand a little bit more about your family, who you live with, what is your situation. So this family whole section is going to be about that, right? So describe your immediate family. This is my mother, father, sister, and me. But make sure you provide the full information, the members, your immediate family, who lives with you, parents, spouse, and all that. All right, but you can say, however, or that's my family. However, I live by myself. I am in, for example, right? So it's things like that. Just write as detailed information that you can about your family situation. Mesli and then Eduardo.
Hi, so I was wondering because I have a complex situation with my family, and last year, like during 2024, I was still living with my mom and my siblings, but now I'm living with my dad. And when it refers to a household, should I put the which one? Or should I put both? And immediate family, I guess it's all of them.
Right.
Um,
So describe, yeah, that's perfect. I think that's a great example of that's what we have this section for, because we know that family situations are very, very different. So describe your family and then use the next part. That's why it's a like a free writing part. Write a paragraph of the situation, right? So my parents are we will have information on that, but my parents are divorced. I used to live with my mom. I'm with my dad now, and the siblings are split, right? Uh, yeah, just explain all that situation there. Mhm.
Thank you.
Eduardo. Hmm?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
In the before question, how many activities can I put?
As many as you want. And the last one, therefore, yeah, just write. I think it allows you to do like a long question. So some of you might have a lot of things you want to do. Just write as, and if you have way too many, I would say just write the most. Like if you did a local competition on something, and then you have a lot that are state level, national level, international level, we'll do the ones that are going to be like that. But you can just write as many as you want.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And then it will keep asking about more information about your family, right? So please select one option regarding your high school. I own the place where I live. My parents are legal guardians, own it. My parents are legal guardians, pay rent for the place where I live. I pay mortgage on my own place, my parents, so whatever. And if there are other housing arrangements, here you have to explain. You have the opportunity to explain. I live with my abuelita, who is the owner, and then my family lives there, but it's not ours, blah, blah, and that. All that you can explain also here. You can talk about your parents are married, divorced, separated, widowed. Maybe your parents never married, right? And then you will start to tell us information about your mom, right? And then her name, contact information, her occupation, and highest degree obtained. Maybe my mother just study high school, or she did her master's, or just a BA, right? Same thing with your father, he's alive. And then same thing for him, all the information about him. We're gonna do that. Siblings, is this information provided? How many, how old? Do they live in the same house with you? What are their occupations? Do your siblings currently receive any type of scholarships? If yes, Mexican pesos. No, she's not studying. Do you have relatives in the US? Yes, no. I'm gonna say yes. Um, Provide further information. My sister is married to an American, for example. Yes, Mesli, question.
Yes, quickly. So my siblings are younger than me, and they have scholarships, but they are not academic scholarships. They're sportive scholarships. So should I put that or
Yes, you can put that. It doesn't matter if they're academic or they need. They just put if they have scholarships, yeah.
thank you?
Now, this is the trickier part, actually. This is the financial information. This is a video that I recorded that will give you information on that, but I guess this will be the updated version that we're going to do right now. So remember that all the information that we need is all the information on 2024. Hopefully, all the dates are updated, but you should give us information from 2024. Information previous to that is not going to be useful for us right now because this is your most current information. First, you're going to tell us if you are independent, but you living on your own, paying your own expenses, and you do not receive economic help from anybody else, or if you're financially dependent, meaning that maybe you live with your parents or legal guardians, and you're not paying for all of your expenses, right? In my case, I'm going to say I'm living on my own, but you get whatever is your information. Now, we're going to be asking you for three in big categories for financial information. At this point, we're not going to need any proof of that. That's going to come later. So don't worry about providing any financial proof of what you're going to say. This is just what you are telling us, your word, your own calculations with you and your family. So there's three big things. It's income, uh, income, assets, cualquier bien que tengan, bienes, and expenses. Those are the three things. So make sure that you understand this part. You are going to indicate how much of your family's income came from these different sources. From all amounts should be in pesos and from January to December. And if you're financially dependent on your parents, include their information, right? All the information, money that they receive because of their jobs, because of if they rent a place, all of the things that they think. And make sure that if something doesn't apply to you, just write it 0. Only write numbers. Okay. There are some sections where it's asking you to give a answer. Those, of course, there you can write more than numbers, but the rest of it is going to be numbers, right? So your father, your legal guardian, here you're going to say, okay, remember that you're doing this calculations in pesos and annually. So let's say that my dad, I live with my parents, and my dad, he earns por cuestiones matemáticas y facilidad, vamos a cerrarlo en 10,000 pesos. So he earns 10,000 pesos al mes, right? So I'm not going to do this because remember that this should be annually. So si él gana 10,000 pesos al mes, I should do 120,000 pesos. Remember that this is al año y en pesos. Okay, so just have that in mind. If you don't live with your parents or they don't help you, your dad's information is irrelevant if you provide that by yourself. But your income here, or maybe your dad is not in the picture, but your mom is the one that works, and maybe for the whole year she gets to, she earns 90,000 pesos. Mesli, pregunta.
I'm so sorry I'm making so much questions, but
No. That's what we're doing this.
um when it's income for my legal guardian, my dad pays child support, so he doesn't even touch the money. So do we? I put the number before paying child support or after paying child support? Like it's split it.
That's a really good question. Uh, I would say the money that actually comes to your house,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I would not report the full because if he doesn't live with you, he's not part of your household.
No, he lives with me. It's actually my siblings and my mother who don't live with me, and this is the child support that's going to them, and it doesn't actually get to my house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then for you is the other way around. You should you should write your dad's income as part of your household, and then when we get to expenses, that child support should be an expense from your household. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mhm. Renato?
Do we have to report the income that comes by temporary works? Like for me, I used to work in vacations, for example, right now, and obviously I have an income. Do I have to report that?
Yeah. So let's say that I work just for during the summer and I got 10,000 pesos for my work, right? That's it. Remember, it's what you it's not what you're going to earn in the future, it's what you earned in the past. And if you work like that and that's what you got, that's fine. Just yeah,
O-
do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
And if you are married, for example, and your spouse receives an income, you could put it there. If not, remember to put at least something, at least a 0, for example. Income from a family business. No, I don't have a family business. Income from your family's real estate. This is like if you have properties that are giving you some kind of money, but they're not. If you receive, your parents are receiving a pension, annuity, retirement, child support, for example, all those things you can do here. You might say no. Income from other member of the household. Maybe your brother, your sister lives with you. My sister doesn't live with me. Income from investments. Maybe I have money invested and maybe it's giving me 100 pesos a year. I don't know. Income from housing, food, or other living allowances that you have. Here, sometimes people do, for example, scholarships, some sort of like allowances that they receive. If you have, um, por ejemplo, la beca Benito Juárez, right? And say you want to put that here, then you will do that. And maybe a year, I don't know, maybe some 15,000 pesos, right? Or maybe you can put it in the next one where it says other type of income, ¿no? Y aquí pueden poner beca, wait, hold on. This will be the number. And here you get to explain. Esa es la beca. Yes, Regina.
Yes, so I'm wondering, like, how specific do we need to be? Like, I'm wondering if I miss something, are we gonna be penalized for that, or like how thorough
Well,
we need to be?
no, you there will not be. I mean, if you make it to the next round, the next stage, then what we're going to ask you is very general, maybe information about, maybe provide us with information about your expenses, about maybe your recibo de luz, recibo de agua, internet, maybe one of your bank statements, just so we know that yes, what you told us in the information in general fits with what your documents say. That's it. But we're not going to go through like, okay, so en enero ella dijo que en ropa gastaba 1,500 y gastó 1,600. No, descalificada. It's not going to be like that. It's just in general, we want to understand the what your situation is. Mesli and Axel después.
Mm, So I have a school, kind of a scholarship in school because we have like very long days, and so we eat at school, and I actually don't get money, but like the cafeteria just gives me food without paying. Should I put that?
Right. So I think you can either put it there as some sort of income, but I think remember that earlier there was a section where he talked about scholarships in your school. So I would put it better on the section that is related to the school scholarship that you receive.
Okay, thank you very much.
Axel?
Hello. Um, I'm a little bit confused because I'm not sure if all of these questions are for 2024. Because last year I was living on my own, but this year I moved back with my parents. So I don't know if it's for last year or for if I should answer for the way I was living last year or
Right. This is all about what your 2024 looked like.
okay.
Now, that's a good question for this is a good because it says, will there be a significant increase in your own or family's income next year? So probably for you, this might be true because since you went back to live with your parents, now you might not have the same expenses or something. So if I were you, I would do my 2024, right? The best calculation that you have here in 2024. And here, this is where I would use that and explain the information provided, right, in this form, and explains my 2025. This year, because of different situations and family situations, I gone back to study, I gone back to live with my parents, blah, blah, blah. You can be as detailed on that, on this section, right? To help us understand your situation. But I would say 2024.
Okay, thank you.
Diana?
Hello. I'm a little bit confused about the question where it says like the legal guardian income, and also the other one that says the total annual income from, because the income is from she's retired. So where should I write the income? In both places or just in one?
No, that's a good question. Just write the one. So if it's money that goes into your household, but don't put it there. I think it's better for us to understand if it's a retirement. So put it
Okay.
in here, pension,
Total. Okay. Good.
pension.
Thank you.
Put it here because it's different. We have to understand that it's
Mm-hmm.
different because there's not really income from work, but
From
it's a
it.
pension.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen.
Yeah, I have a question. Does your economic status influences a lot on the process of if you get a scholarship or not, or do you take more in account like curriculum and other requirements?
Excellent question. Remember that three things are important. This is the grade triage for this. You need to have a grade, academics, you have to have a good level of English, and your financial situation. Those three need to be. If you don't need, you're not in a financial situation when you need the opportunity funds, you could have great English and you could have an amazing CV, but you don't need our help, right? You're not going to be selected. We're going to send you to other programs, but this is not the program for you. If you have financial need, but you don't have the level of English, then this is not a program for you. If you have financial need and the level of English, but your CV and the things that you've done are now a wow factor, then this is not the program for you. You have to have the three things to be a good opportunity funds student. Luis Pimentel,
Okay,
and
thank
then
you.
Luis. Yeah.
I have a question regarding this. So, does that mean that, or do you base that like assessment on like US standard of living or Mexico standard of living?
That's a really good question. We're not, how should I put this? We're not evaluating if you can pay for school in the United States. Very few people have the money to pay for school in the United States. Remember that our program is, can you pay for the application process? That's what we do. We don't pay money. We don't pay money for you to study in the United States. We pay money for the application process. Okay. So what we're assessing is that if you need our financial help to pay for that, and we are not considering standards of living in terms of uh, yeah, it's we're at the end what we do with this information is that how much money is left out in your house after all the information that you gave us, right? And if that amount of money would be, can with that amount of money, can you pay for your own process or you need our process? Now, this is not a decision that is only being taken from this document, right? Not only so many students will give us the information and many times because of their family situation, they are spending a lot more than what they're bringing in. So they're living in debt, for example, right? But what you have to know is that we know what kind of student the Opportunity Fund student is. So it's not a student that the family is in a financial hard situation because they go to Disneyland 2 or 3 times a year. Now, if you go to Disney, you've taken vacation, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get selected for opportunity funds. Okay. So it's just I want you to know that this is not a process that we only based of numbers and that's it, but we do a very if we have questions, we're going to call you. We're going to say, "Hey, so you said this in your application. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? You have this you mentioned that you're struggling for paying for school, and you have a scholarship, but at the same time you told us that you have a property value in 4 million pesos, right? So can you give us a little bit more? Many times they say that's not like my grandpa gave that to my dad and now it's his, but like we want to learn more about you. That's the thing. That's what we have all those different spaces where we say, explain your situation, tell us. Right? So that's the whole thing with this. Does that make sense? I don't know
Yeah,
who was
yeah,
next.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Was it Carlos? Luis Carlos?
Luis Carlos, ajá.
Hello. Um, I have a question related to the part of the family living in the United States. Uh,
Uh-huh.
when I was a kid, I heard that some family were living in the USA, but yesterday I asked my parents about that, and we don't know where they are living right now. What should I put in there?
Right. Don't worry. So in my case, I said yes because I have my sister who lives there. that I went to visit this Christmas break. But I think I have like 10 aunts and uncles that live there that I don't really know. So I would say just people that you are closely related, siblings, your father, your mother, that's the information that we want to know. Okay. But if it's people that you don't have contact with and all that, that's okay. Even with my yes, you see that there was no other question with that. We just want to, I mean, we just want to know what your situation is. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Luciana?
Okay. My question is the scholarship only for the admission process, or would it be also for once you're actually studying there?
Ah, nice. Good. I'm glad that it's coming up. It shouldn't be, yeah, I'm glad it's coming up. Remember that Opportunity Funds does not give you money to study when you have been when you are in the United States. This is a scholarship for the application process only. Our job, like I said earlier, our job is to help you get the fully funded offers from the schools in the US. So, for example, tomorrow you will get to hear from Alejandra, who has a all expenses paid scholarship in University of Indiana. Same with Bruno, and same with who's the other one? Remind me, who's the other?
Adriana.
Adriana. All of them were opportunity fund students. We helped them polish their application so the universities will give them the money to study in the US. We don't have any money for you to study in the United States. We have the money to pay for your application process so the schools will see you and they will give you the money. Right? Mhm.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. Let's continue. So the other part, we saw income. We're not going to spend too much time on this next one, but it's about assets. Everything that you have that is, like we say in Spanish, is like bienes. Bienes pueden ser tierras, pueden ser buildings. It could be jewelry, it could be cars, it could be money that you have in the bank. So do be as detailed as you can to provide us with that. It, it's just like I said, we just want to understand what your financial situation is. So, do you have a company? Is it a big company? Do you employ others? Um, how big is the company? Do you have debt in that land? You might own the land. Your family might own land, but you're still paying it, and it's not really yours. It's gonna be, it's a land that you have that you're gonna finish paying in 20 years. So we don't want to count that as that you have that land because you still own most of the money on that land. So, like I said, we want to understand your situation. If you have some parents maybe bought tienen un fideicomiso para el estudio de los hijos, something like that. So everything that is owned by you, by others, many that is owned in your family, to own to your family. Most of this is going to be, oh man, sorry, it's not gonna let, if I don't answer, it's not gonna let me go to the next one. I had forgotten. So in all this, we're going to be doing zero. Right? Because I don't have any assets. Well, I do this. Leslie, you have a question.
Really quickly, when it's family, it's just like immediate family, right? No grandparents, no uncles or anything like that.
Right. Right. This information, remember that this is in your household. In your household. If you live by yourself, then you only do uh assets owned by you. Like my grandparents could have a lot of money, but I don't have access to that, you know? So it's the on your household. I mean. And now with expenses, do the same. If I pay 5,000 pesos per rent, right? Then you do the year. Remember that you're doing everything by the year, right? So you do all the amounts of all the different expenses. Here is basically you doing all your calculations. I mean, I know that not every month you will be spending money on clothing, but just make the best, get the best of your um, um, efforts to do this. Maybe we didn't go on vacation this year. We don't have domestic help. medical expenses. Well, maybe I got sick a couple of times, and my sister and all that. Just people living in your household, right? See, mi hermana se enfermó, but she doesn't live here anymore. Like, I'm not gonna count that, like, in my household, right? Because so here, solo me enfermé una vez y me compré un tratamiento, or maybe someone in your family is really sick and you are spending a lot of money on that this year, right? Other expenses? No, I don't have any other expenses. That's it. Right. All right. Now that was the financials. You can see that it can be tricky. That's why I'm saying like it takes you a while. Now we're coming to the part where you're going to be uploading things, and we're getting to the end of the application. Remember that there's a specific information on how you should submit this. Remember that with your name and all the like in a PDF file, and you're gonna add it here. So when it tells you, it gives you where to browse, either your drive or to upload it. So to upload it, you know what you have to do there. Right? Amanda, you have a question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so my question is regarding the thing is my grandma used to live with us, but the thing is that she passed away last year. So how do I make myself clear on that?
Um, yeah, the
Because the thing is that we also spend a lot of money on like medical bills
right,
and stuff.
right. So there is a section there was a section earlier where you get to explain that. Let me see if no. Oh man, it took us all the way out. Okay. Yeah, so there is a question. Let me see, maybe saved. Where it tells you where see, this is a good exercise that is saving all the information. Hopefully it will save yours. In the expenses, there's a section that it allows you to explain if you have anything like that, like any expenses from that year that you want to explain, do that there. Right here. If you and your family had other expenses not listed above, please provide a description here for the other expenses. Here you can say grandmother's illness and passing. And here you will be able to say 150,000 pesos that we spend on all that. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm? Edna?
Yes, sorry for the interruption, but I have a question about the time. Well, I go at the school in the afternoon, so I really don't have I really don't have time, and in the mornings really don't have much time. So I don't know if this is a problem about the time.
Right. Um, we have had students, opportunity for students like you. I think it will be a question that I would send back to you and say, with your time in the morning and with your school, be on top of that, are you going to have time to do this? Like, maybe it's not really a question that we are going to be able to answer, but are you going to be able to give 15 to 20 hours to the program? I think it's more a question that you are going to answer more than what we can answer for you, because the requested time and and deadlines and all that will be the same regardless if you work and study at the same time or you don't. So I guess it's more like a question for you if you're going to be able to do it, and I guess only you can answer that. Does that make sense? Ana
Right,
Lucia,
thank you.
continue, I would like to finish this section, and I think because I just want to show you this is where you are going to be uploading things. Now you should have this already done. Your personal essay written, your CB here, your grades for you to upload it, right? So as you can see from the exercise that we're doing right now, if I close this and I open it again, my answers should be saved, right? But like I said, don't trust on it because then you'll have to do it again maybe or not. But here is where you would upload everything. Make sure that you save it in with the name and with the instructions that you're supposed to. Your CB, where you would upload your CB here, the letter of recommendation. Um, it should be uploaded here and any other additional information. For example, if you have already use this one. This is a really good one. Use this one. Anything that you think that was not asked in the whole application and you want to tell us a little more, want to tell us a little bit more. For example, the situation that was explained here. I used to live with myself, now I live with my parents. My situation will change. I will be more financially challenged this next year because I just lost my job. So my 2024 might tell you this, but this new year is going to be different for me because anything that you want to explain to us, this is the place where you can, right? So you will see many of those instances in the whole application, but this will be. And here, lastly, is just that you certify that the information that you told us it is the truth, and it is the truth, and that to the best of your knowledge, and then you sign it, and then the date, and then you submit the application, right? Um, yes. Like you saw, it's a long application. There's a lot of information that we ask for you. Take your time. Don't leave this till the 9th of February at night when it's about to be when you're about to be sent. Please make sure that you did this with time. All right. Now, let's keep doing more questions for another 10 minutes and then we'll be done. Eileen, well, no, but first of all, Ana Lucia, you had questions? Yeah,
It was
no?
answered in the chat. They were asking if there were any areas of study considered a priority for this call of participation.
Right. It is said in the call for participation. It explains that there are certain areas that are have priority, and there also said certain fields that will not are not a priority or will not be selected also. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I can see you guys. Who was first? Eileen?
Yeah, I have a question about the comment section. So I haven't done any standardized test because I'm in fourth semester and usually we're starting to practice and stuff. So I was planning to, for example, the SAT on May, and then I'm enrolled into AP classes that my school has. It's AP World History and AP Pre-Calculus, and I'm doing both exams. So it's until May 10, I think. So I don't know if I should add that in the comments that I'm missing these exams to make, and I already have the dates planned. So I was also
Right. That's what I would say.
yeah, and
That's what I
also
would say. I would put that like it. I'm scheduled to take the AP of History and AP and Calculus on May 2025.
okay, and also the in case I get I'm a grantee, are you gonna be able for me, like for example, to pay the SATs and the AP pre-calculus and the world history one? Because I mean, my mom already paid for those of the AP because you have to pay first, then you have to pay more if you are late. So I don't know if there's a way we can get it back if I'm a grantee or not.
And no, the answer will say no. Those will be things that you've done. We do pay for the SAT, and those are the and the TOEFL. Those are the two exams that we pay for. That's a good question, though. Thank you,
Okay.
Mesli, and then Salvador.
Okay, so I have two questions. The first one is about for my grades in transcript because I'm at a French school. Um, and I actually did not went through middle school because I did my certificate via the Instituto Nacional de Educación para Adultos. Should I put my middle school certificate instead of my grades of ninth grade, or should I just let it be with 10th and 11th grades?
That's a really good question. I think that if I were you, I would add also the one from middle school, in the same PDF document. Like I would do the one that you do with your middle school, and then the ones that you have so far from your current school.
Like even if for INEA, it's just you do an exam at the end of middle school because I was
Okay.
kind of homeschooled, so it just you do one day an exam. And it's just I think I have two or three grades for that, so I just put those as because it counts for my whole middle school and not just for the ninth
Right.
grade.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I would add them. Like if you could do it just one whole PDF for that, I would do it. Just the more that you can give, the more information that you can give us to understand your situation, it will be the best.
Okay, thank you. And regarding SAT and TOEFL exams, I can't actually pay them right now. And I know I'm studying right now a little bit with Khan Academy and like free resources, but is it a problem if I do not have like actual practical experience when uh, taking these exams or so?
No, not at all. Like we're just asking in case you have them and you have had opportunity to get them, but it's not part of the requirement. If you don't have the SAT, that is it's completely fine. Okay.
And one last question.
Mhm.
During the process, should we like when the result comes out in April, if I'm not wrong, or May? So during the process, will we be like I know it's a help for us to apply to universities or colleges, but will we also be guided in order to boost our applications? I don't know, like founding some social services in which we can do like community hours if we do not have like the normal amount. I think it's 50 hours. Kind of,
Right,
yes,
right, yes. So
yes.
you're correct. So that's what we're going to be doing. The thing is, your application should be that you are already doing great things, but that it needs to be polished, right? So that's the idea. So and yeah, so you will work with us on how to make that application better. That we'll work on that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Ana Lucia, you had some questions or comments, and then Luis Manuel.
Yes.
And we will close with that.
With Luis Manuel. Okay. They're asking, is public health considered STEM? But when selecting the classification, should I list it under the health field?
Right. That's a good question. I mean, because you can be as specific as you can. Um, and it really depends on the classifications of the exactly what you're trying to do. I would say you can put it on the health field, in the categories, and then it specify that is public health or public health policy or something like that, right? So help us understand since from what perspective you're seeing at health, right? That's what I would say. And then Luis Manuel.
Yes. Hi, thank you. So I have just two quick questions. The first one is, if I graduated college in 2023, December, but I attained my diploma in April 2023, which date should I put in the forms? Because like my diploma says April 2024, but I finished classes in December 2023.
And what date are you for what question this should be? Like when you graduated?
Yeah, like in my graduation date, which one should I
Right.
put? Because I finished classes, as
Right.
I said, in December 2023, but my diploma says April 2024.
Right. Because of the way that our system works here in Mexico, I would say that when you actually graduated from school and you stopped going to school.
Okay.
Can for many of us, then you have the whole year that you worked on that process, and then you got your diploma a year after that. So, but I don't count that as my graduation. I count my graduation, for example, in my case, 28, although I received my diploma in 29. All right.
All
So
right. Yeah.
graduation day is when you stop going to school.
Perfect. And my second question is, so I took the TOEFL in 2022, but as you know, it already expired. So should I put that score anyways, or should I just don't put anything?
Right. I would say put it as a reference. For me, I would say put it as a reference. Say expired, and then put it will be information for us about you. And like I said, it doesn't matter. You're gonna do the test anyway, but it's just a reference about your level of English.
All right. Thank you very much, Juanma and Ana
Thank
Lucia.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're gonna close our time. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for all the work that you are doing in preparing your application for this process and doing this process. This is not going to be the last session. Tomorrow, we're going to have a very nice session to close con ¿cómo es la frase? Con broche de oro. That's what I want to say. I'm going to let Ana Lucia tell us what's coming next.
Yes. Tomorrow we have the grantees that you are going to be able to be asking them questions about the selection process. Okay. You can ask them how they felt, like all the things that you're feeling right now, you can ask them about that. But also, we have another session, well, a Facebook Live next week. We're going to have Juanma, and we're going to have more questions, like live questions during the live. And also, you can contact your advisor, okay? We already share with you the centros de asesoría. And if you don't find the advisor, you can contact me directly. My email is in the chat right now, okay? And I can share with you the contact, all right? Remember that I'm for Sonora, Baja California Sur, and Sinaloa. But if you're not from there and you don't find the contact, you can send me an email and I'll be very happy to answer it to you, okay? And if you have very specific questions, I can answer them as well. All right, tomorrow. All right. So thank you so much, people, for being here today. We expect for us to
Just,
see you tomorrow. And
just
Christy is going to add something else.
yes, sorry. So just before we leave, I would like you to take a picture of this QR code because in this link, you will have the opportunity to start like submitting your questions for tomorrow's session. So remember, we're gonna have three former Opportunity Funds grantees. So if you have any questions in mind, like think about their experience, like applying for the scholarship, because right now they are already studying there. Yes, they're gonna tell us about their experience studying in a university there, but right now we want to focus on the process to apply for the scholarship. Okay, so I don't know, you can ask for tips. Remember that the second phase is going to be an interview, so you can also ask tips on the interview. And so that's something you can do. Just, I'm gonna wait for you to take a picture. You can take a photo with your phone and you can submit your questions later today or maybe tomorrow before we have the session. Remember, it's the same link for tomorrow's session, and well, that's it. So thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you so much.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Stop the recording.